Okay. Here we are, back in the void again, and we're live. Hopefully this time. Re-recording this because for some reason didn't catch the first one. I guess I didn't save it correctly. So I'm gonna go through this again. Take two. Started out the day with walking to the dollar store once again, as I usually do. It's great exercise. I'm walking because, well, now my tire's flat on my bicycle. Yay. Now, I could have rode my motorcycle, but now we're trying to save that gas. Speaking of more of that later. Today, there was a marathon. A bunch of people running. And it was some of the palest of skin there. And these people don't look like your typical runners. So I had to ask, was this marathon more for the athletic ability, or was it just for some fundraiser or something? I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out later. But very few of those people looked like runners that would be athletes. Of course, they had to get the stretchy pants on. Who doesn't want to put the stretchy pants on? Why do we do this? I don't know. Well, you know, attention seeking. See, found some change on the floor, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to make a controversial video now because that seems to get more eyeballs. I think I'm gonna do it on Oprah. That'll be the next one. The next Screaming Into the Void for the video next time. So, if you want to see my channel possibly get wiped off the face of the YouTubes forever for good, like and subscribe while you can. Because I'm gonna talk about Oprah next. Oh man, what was it? A week was crap. I don't know why I'm tired. I haven't done anything all day. I've basically been avoiding all my activities in hopes that I don't know. I think it's because I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm trying this crash diet where, you know, I induce purging to, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm not. That's the whole thing about this weird era we're in. Era. So I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It feels like I'm doing something. I'm on YouTube. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything out of this. Was I even trying to get anything out of this? I don't know anymore. I just did it because it was a thing to do. You know. I can't say it was because everybody else was doing it. Right. I remember now. See, when you get up to the age now, when you get up into a certain age, you start to forget what you're doing and things and why you're doing it. But you keep doing it. It's weird. Yeah, okay. So I'm here to pretend like this is my job. That's what I'm doing. So when anybody, especially, you know, my parents start getting on me, I could be like, yeah, I totally have a job. I have like 3 jobs. No, it's legit, totally. And they'll feel terrible forever asking me, you know, if I have a job and what I'm doing in my life and all that stuff. And it seems cool. Oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I can't do that unless YouTube pays me. So like and subscribe. I think it was 1,000 subscribers. You start getting some pennies thrown back at you. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see what happens. Or is it 10,000 subscribers? I'm not sure. I still have yet to look that up. Once again, procrastination is one again. Dang you, procrastination. And lack of sleep. And actually having to go to the store to get your stuff because I'm not rich enough to order DoorDash and have all my stuff delivered to me like the way of the future. Or, better yet, send out my AI robot to go do it for me and hope it doesn't get stolen or lost or steal stuff from the store because they figure out how to pay for things. Oh, that'd be kind of a trip right there. Kind of funny. But I'm gonna talk about today motorcycle. So last was it Thursday, Friday? You don't want to be a day laborer around this time. Just for the simple fact that everybody's starting to drink from the same water hose. Everybody's starting to day labor, especially people who are getting laid off. You know, they have to figure out what to do with their lives, how to trade their time for money, and day laboring becomes a bloated affair, just like everything else is, I guess, at this point, when people have nothing to do. But what's happening is I'm running into a lot of people here that are not from here, and that seems to be the growing trend as of the last few years, is that nobody is from this city or state. They've all migrated from some other city and brought their disease with them. Their disease being their politicians, their way of doing things that ultimately ended up in them having to flee the state, which is now making the state we're in, the city we're in, the same as the ones they were fleeing from. Kind of crazy how it goes full circle. But the places are packed, and now I just go to work for nothing. Well, I show up at work for nothing, because then you gotta fight, you know, your way through, you know, 20, 30 other people to try and get something that barely pays $1 of minimum wage for the day. And I gotta ask if it's worth it. I think I gotta do my cost benefit analysis to see if it's worth it anymore, because I don't know if it is. But the crux of this, my motorcycle. So I'm not the only one that didn't get a job that day, at least for Friday. And this guy starts talking to me, we start chatting. He tells me that instead of this 2005 Mercedes-Benz, he wanted to get a motorcycle like mine's. And that's generally how the conversation starts. But he got his Mercedes-Benz for a few thousand off of Facebook Marketplace, and he thought everything would be good. Turns out, the thing had no brakes, and somehow he was able to slow the thing down by engine braking, but at the same time, he's ran into other people's cars, parked cars, and somehow has gotten away from that, gotten away with it. But I'm seeing this as a trend. People are starting to get motorcycles because they can no longer afford their cars. They don't want their cars. Their cars are a pain in the rear. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it if the Karens with their misshapen SUV, crossover, whatever tank they decide to drive that day have to give up their stuff. at the beginning of this year, I knew people were going to have to give up something, and most likely it was going to be their car. I knew that, and I was trying to be a repo driver. I am qualified, even if I don't have the experience for flatbedding or tow truck driving exactly. But I have a CDL, and that's what's required to drive the tow truck. It's like these people have never heard of on-the-job training, but, I digress. Everybody wants a motorcycle now. But that comes with its own risk. As I alluded to before, everybody's trying to run you down. Or it be generally anybody just larger than you. I've had to snap my head around and give people a very, very dirty look one too many times here. And these people generally don't care. They generally don't care. It's, what are you going to do? You're on a small motorbike, and they're in their giant car that has yet to be giant 6,000-pound death machine with their phone stuck in their hands that is just yet to be repoed. And I don't know. I might start applying to it again. Even if I know I'm just tossing my resume into the void, I might start applying to be a repo driver again. They might be a little bit more open to the ideal of just training somebody to operate the skid, the lift. And if I ever do get that job, I probably would just take it for not even that much. To be honest with you, I know I'll be in constant danger, but I would be working off of just pure spite at that point. Just to get the people that don't actually deserve the privilege and have not paid for the privilege of driving their hunk of junk on the road, who've not learned their lesson that something like a car shouldn't be a 4-year payment. You shouldn't have to drag it out that far. In fact, all this needs to reset. Houses, cars, medical bills, all this stuff needs to reset. Nobody can pay it. It's gone too far. It needs all a reset. Everything except for medical bills, of course. We need to get back to the point where if you can't pay for it immediately, then you don't buy it. And yeah, there's going to be some short-term pain there, but it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. At some point, your 50-year mortgage, your 5-year payment plan for your car, nobody's going to be able to front the bill for that. Nobody's going to be able to conjure up a loan in hopes that you pay it back for very much longer. And I've always been ahead of the game. I've always advocated that if you can't afford a car or something that is enclosed that carries extra passengers, which you're most likely not going to use. Most people drive themselves with 6,000 pounds of steel to work by themselves, not carpooling, not with kids or anything, just cause. But I always advocated that you try a motorcycle, you try a UTV. You can make them street legal. You don't need a 6,000 pound death machine to get from point A to point B, especially if you're broke. Especially if you can't really afford the things that you're trying to pay for. And everything we'll go through these recession cycles and shake people out. And the people that really have it like that will remain, and the people that don't will just be on the sidelines jealous, green with envy that they couldn't keep up their appearances. It was all fake. But this was my first encounter for the day with motorcycle. Generally, every time I take out this motorcycle, somebody wants to come up to me and talk about it. They either A, wish they could ride a motorcycle like me, or they were in the process of getting a motorcycle so that they don't have to walk anymore or catch the bus or pay for a car that isn't worth it, or a vehicle that isn't worth it. And I applaud it. And at some point, because my motorcycle is how can I say, a ship of denarius, where it's just a bunch of mismatched parts that I've been prototyping and messing around on and putting together. It's supposed to teach me about motorcycles. Even though I've built cars, I know how engines work, I understand the principles. It's supposed to teach me about motorcycles, and it's supposed to demonstrate that you can build a freeway capable motorcycle with, in less than $3,000. Just put it that way. I don't know what it would cost today, but for less than $3,000, I have a motorcycle that does, if I push it, 65 miles an hour, which is the speed limit on the freeway. And of course, doing the speed limit on the freeway, or anything below that, is a death sentence, because everybody wants to do 80 in a 55 for some dang reason. But first encounter with a motorcycle, second encounter with a motorcycle, and I literally just rode down the street 3 blocks away, parked at a supermarket. Another guy hobbles over to me from across the parking lot, and it gives me the spiel, the general questions: how do you get that, what is it, and proceeds to tell me that he wants to get one. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe I was spot on with wanting to make that motorcycle shop something that would be, I don't know, 400cc and less. Like, it'll get you around town. It's faster than a bus. Is it going to be flying? Are you going to be doing 100 miles an hour? Are you going to be doing stunts and stuff? No, that's not what it's for. It's to get you to your job that doesn't pay enough for you to actually afford anything. Which is sad on its face, but is the reality we're living in. And that's my experience for the most part. Every other day, I take this motorcycle out, and I don't take it out unless I'm going to work, so very few people see it. And it's interesting to see people get crowded around your motorcycle, not to steal parts of it, because once again, it's not in any great condition. It looks like it's stolen, and nobody likes to steal stuff that's already looks like it's stolen. It's funny how that works. But it gets me where I need to go, and I couldn't ask for more, really. Now, I would like it to get me where I want to go, which is make it an out of city type type of affair, but baby steps. Maybe once I get a decent paying job, maybe I can get there. But for now, gonna be stuck in the city, yelling into this void every day for reasons I forgot. And if you like this, you vibe with this, think this was a cool story, bro, leave a like, leave a comment. Maybe you would like to get on a motorcycle. Maybe you would like to start a motorcycle shop with me, business partners or something, as the world collapses. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.